Dobro došli u podcast, kao što vidite danas, tačnije kao što ne vidite, ali ćete vidjeti uskoro, danas imamo nove goste iz sveta košarke. Malo drugačiji podcast, pošto će biti povo na srpskom, povo na engleskom, pošto su braća stranci, ali zapravo samo da ih predstavimo, da sami predstave, pa da imamo nešto o njima što ima da kažu. Oni su zapravo ekipa 3x3, OverHoops, tako da ako želite možete predstaviti redom.
Pozdrav prvi. Pozdrav, moje ime je Petar Vujović, ja sam tako reći menadžer, igrač i što tiče svega, lider OverHoops ekipe i to je to, mislim, ajde sad.
I'm Gianni Muzadi, I come from Angola, I'm here as a diplomat, I know Petar since I used to play at Sava,
Okay.
And I'm here playing, he gave me the chance to play 3x3 with him and I like the whole movement and where our team is going, and yeah.
Zdravo, ja sam Andrija Sjamašvili, imam 18 godina. Pozvan sam bio jedne noći u 3 ujutru da igram neki turnir i ja sam rekao dobro, što da ne, onda sam vidio da je zapravo ozbiljno i dopalo mi se i odlučio sam da ostane sa OverHoops 3x3 ekipom i interesantno, nije loše.
Evo za početak, sam tim koliko je star, kako se počela, čija je bila ideja, kako se dugo znate?
Pa tim generalno je star otprilike, negde je počeo otprilike oko juna. Tad prvi turnir nam je bio MTS-u turnir od 23 godine, gde smo igrali u basket landu. Dakle, prvi put smo se zvali pod imenom OverHoops 3x3.
A što OverHoops? Čija je ideja bila?
Pa moja ideja to bila, zato što također držim jednu fotografsku stranicu pod imenom OverHoops. To sam počeo negde otprilike prije jedno 6-7 mjeseci da se bavim fotografijom i više sam fotografisao košarkaške utakmice, košarkaške mečeve i pravio također highlighte. A sad kako ime došao, vidio sam prvo, neću sad copyright neki dobijem, ali overtime, pa sam uzeo over od toga i sad nešto vezano za košarku, neki valjda obruč i onda sam rekao OverHoops i onda neko bilo malo zvučno i tako je nastalo ime i za 3x3, tako.
I kako se pričaš koliko je star klub, kako je prvi turnir?
Pa prvi turnir bio MTS-ov do 23 godine, tu su bile dosta ozbiljnije ekipe s obzirom da smo mi bili novi u priči, nismo imali neke taktike, napade i došli smo samo se zabavimo tamo. Mislim da smo dobili jednu, izgubili jednu na tom turniru, igrali smo sa ekipom Mladenovca koja je bila dosta jaka tada u to vreme, fizički jaka. Imali su dosta i profesionalnih igrača, Topalovića jednog, tako da baš su bili jaki tad. I kroz to smo rekli, ajde da se prijavimo na više turnira, da igramo, da se takmičimo, da vidimo. I onda smo otišli u Banovce, gdje smo se prijavili za seniore i juniore. Dakle, za seniore smo igrali prvi put protiv pro ekipe Pirot 3x3, koje je to tad vreme bilo razvalit će nas, razguzit će nas 21-0 i to. Međutim, onda kad smo skontali da možemo s njima da pariramo, izgubili smo 11-14, tako nešto 11-13, to je bilo znak da možemo da nastavimo dalje i da se čeličimo. I tu je prilike sve počelo.
Were you there from the start or?
Well, I'll say halfway.
Yeah.
Halfway because I was out of the country, unfortunately. I was playing in Portugal for some time. And then
professional or just college?
I was trying to get into the professional scene, but I was too late for registration. I had to be there earliest by January, too late I went in February and I couldn't get myself registered. But again, thanks to him when I came back, I got this chance to play 3x3, which is something that I always found hard to find here, especially as a foreigner, because, most people would like to either choose someone who's Serbian that they know, that they have played around with, know each other since childhood, than to find most likely a foreign person to come play.
And I've played with him like very long time. I knew he was a hooper. So when I saw that he was back in Belgrade, I want to call him up like, hey, this 3x3 thing is is becoming a thing, and he accepted and this is where we are now. So.
If I can ask, how many tournaments did you guys had played before I came?
Tournaments, the first tournament was in Basketland. Remember when we called you?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and after that we played in Banovci, and I think that was it pretty much, like 2 or 3 tournaments, and then you joined.
Okay.
And
so relatively, maybe at the beginning, I guess you could say that.
After maybe 2 or 3 tournaments, it's pretty much.
You want me to answer in Serbian or in English?
Both You can in gruzijski.
Imat ćemo translation.
A reći na srpskom što ti pričao srpskom, ja sam bio sam s drugarima na polju. I meni stiže poziv u 3 ujutru, vidi mene ubacio u neku Instagram grupu i gledam OverHoops. Ja mislim, ko kad ti izađu oni Instagram botovi. Ja kao, ajde, ne smarajte. Ja vidim mu u zadnju, vidim, čekaj broj se zove ko Erik. Ja gledam poruke, ljudi sutra u 1 popodne 3x3. Ja gledam, dobro nisam lud, znači samo piše 3x3. I ja pišem kao dobro, bit ću tu, super. Dolazim ja na turnir, imamo stvarno nešto ozbiljno. Ja sam mišljeno da me zvali ono ispred zgrade da igramo 3x3. Ja sam pravila 3x3-a naučio 4-5 minuta pred utakmicu. Ja sam
objasnio otprilike.
Nisam znao dokle se igra, kako se igra. Ja sam mislio da ono može kad neko promaši da ubaciš loptu da ga ubaciš u obruč, da ne možeš da izađeš uopšte. I igrao sam jedan turnir s njima, dopalo mi se i nažalost mislim će mi to biti posljednji turnir pošto sad idem na more i kad se vratim s mora moram nazad u Ameriku.
Ali onda kad se radiš sledeće godine?
Obavezno. Čeličenje, to je stvarno čeličenje, igrati 3x3 je čeličenje.
Igrat će malo u Americi. Treba malo nešto.
Hvala lepo.
Tapi.
Tamo, brate, se igra kao koliko toliko, brate.
Nama nije to preporučeno nikad bilo da igramo, mislim, verovatno ga ima, ali ne na tom nivou kao ovdje.
Znam da baš ima, mislim, nema sad puno, koliko recimo ima onih kao pro rec league onih, ali ima da može se nađe recimo negde sat vremena, 2 sata, hoop it up neki turniri, baš ima neke manifestacije odlične, gdje imaju ove ekipe profesionalne, Princeton, pa sad ima Washington, koje se takmiče isto ovako igraju, a ima i ove amaterske koje se tek uključuju i tako.
A i nama relativno i ne daju puno da igramo tokom sezone i nakon sezone zbog povreda i to, pošto ipak se puno kao u nas u igrače i ulaže i...
A ti se znači ovdje na tiću to radio sve?
Molim?
Ti si javio
Ne pojma, ne znam pojma. Mene je trener krenuo da zaprati, nisto kada sam ga skinuo za svaki slučaj, ono da ne gleda.
Onda bolje podcast na srpskom da bude.
Da. Self-coach. Ne, ali...
Sad krivo je 3x3 pa da...
Sad realno mogu da radim što hoću, ali kad se vratim, ako budu bila neka pitanja, kažem, ne znam čemu vi pričate, jasno. Igru ispred zgrade.
And did you play in Portugal some 3x3 or not?
No, not really, because I mean they're barely even known for their basketball. So any little basketball they do have, it usually is just mainly the 5v5 scene.
Okay.
But yeah.
And what's the scene in Portugal about 5v5? I mean,
5v5. I would like to say that the game is much slower, at least compared to big European countries, at least in basketball, like Serbia, Italy, and just Spain. Those few ones, the game is much slower. Players are allowed to miss more, to make more mistakes, at least. While at least here from my experience playing in Serbia, the game can be a little bit fast. It's more technical, it's more running plays, it's more feeding the hot hand, at least going to the center first. And just pretty much, it's always coaching. It's always the coach is fully involved. I mean, of course, players do get their freedom if they're hot and if they're feeling it in the moment, but not the same as it is in Portugal.
Ja vam sad mislim kao ovdje imamo neko koji da kažem odrastao u Srbiji, trenira u Srbiji uglavnom.
Da.
You were like mostly in Portugal or here?
Mostly here.
But also you have experience in Portugal. You have like abroad, you were like all the places. So how can you describe the difference in coaching in Serbia or...
You want me to go?
Go first.
I would say that I played here for Zemun, Kaka Zemun, and I had a coach named Nikola Nikolic. Fantastic coach. That's the only man I've ever feared in my life. I was terrified of him, but he's a fantastic coach, and he's my coach to this day.
That's the picture of Serbian.
Exactly. He's like a Željko Obradović, but turn him up a notch, right? But when I went to play in France and when I realized that the coach can't yell at you, it was quite surprising. Like I prefer our coaching here, because I see that like discipline here is way higher. Here when the coach blows the whistle, no one's shooting on the rim, no one's dribbling. It's stop, listen to the coach. In France, it's like, guys, come here, let's go. The one guy is shooting, the other one's tying his shoelaces, other guy's still in the locker room. So I would say discipline is way higher here. But more freedom definitely in France and in US.
And would you say that it's, I don't know, more involved there, like in the means of the technical things, the means of the environment, learning some new stuff?
In the sense of like basketball technique?
Yeah.
No, I would say there it's just physical. It's very, very physical. I came there at 14. I was just like a typical white boy. I was like a 6 foot skinny white boy that couldn't touch the rim. Like,
we've been there.
And like ask him, I couldn't dunk by age like 16. I was 193, I couldn't dunk. Okay. So I went there and I was used to like Serbian basketball, always make the extra pass. The ball's gonna come back. There's that. I went there and I saw they just run fast and they jump really high. And technique is really, I wasn't impressed. Like it was a lot of like fast break, fast break, fast break. And then when we have set plays, it's set plays that do like a very specific thing, because the skill is really not there, I would say.
Okay. You have the same experience or?
Well, I was playing in the first league of Portugal there. I was in Braga. I didn't get to play any games because, like I told you, I couldn't register myself. And the whole process of coming there and having to go through registration can be a little bit tricky because even being Portuguese and having a Portuguese passport, I get put under this list where I'm coming as a Portuguese from abroad. So there's a waiting list for me and some procedures to go through the federation there. And I mean, what I like about it is that, you know, they really care for their players. That's why the procedure goes like that. But to compare the basketball, how it is there to here in Serbia, the only thing I could say that is similar is how disciplined and harsh the coaches can be. At least at Braga, which is the only team I got to experience training. But there it's like, oof, one player is tying their shoe while coach is talking, whole team is running laps, right? But at the same time, like I said, they give more freedom to the players, you know, while here, it's like speciality. If this guy can get us in Serbia, this guy can get us the ball across the court, at least 3 quarters without getting a single turnovers in 2 games, perfect, he's always going to be our guy. While there, it's like, okay, this guy loses the ball, keep going, yeah. try. You know, there isn't like a lot of room for that. I could say maybe, I think the basketball here is way more competitive. It brings out like more things are allowed here. Like for example, just a little trash talk. I don't think it's the same as it is in Portuguese and in Portugal, because there immediately like you get a tag for it, or like the coach takes you out himself.
Okay. Well, I could add on as well. Like I totally agree to what they're all saying. I would just honestly add like one thing is that pretty much when it comes to basketball in Serbia, if the coaches see after like 2-3 practices this guy can do something, they're always gonna keep an eye on him. Like, okay, this guy's a shooter, he's gonna be the shooter for the rest of the season. They're not gonna really put him to experience some new different situations when it comes to maybe playing point or not really a shooter, or let's go and get him on a defensive style. In the US, or as long as I've heard, like they are mostly focused on, okay, what more can you do after like just only one thing? Like, okay, this guy can shoot, we know that. All right, can we improve him to do something else? And then they work on it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much only the difference. And here in Serbia, once you know your role, and that's pretty much it.
I think that here it's more of like, you are good at this. In US, they don't really look at how good you are. It's how good you can be at something. How many guys I've seen that are going to go to the next level, go to play Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, which is very high level of basketball, and that are not good players in the moment. They just have the possibilities to be so. They're like 198 centimeters, 205 hands, run fast, jump high, but can't dribble with their left hand. And if they were a player here, they'd be like, okay, you're a good kid, but go sit on the bench. There it's, okay, play, okay, let's teach him how to do this. Even if it costs the entire team, let's teach him how to play.
Or even a season. A lot of coaches in the US, like they let a guy play because they see the potential, and maybe in their first freshman season they don't do much. They put like, I don't know, 5-6 points, not much. But then the next season they want to see improvement. And if they don't, well, they might have to reconsider it or anything. But usually, like kids who are really given a chance, they really go on and improve.
And so based on that, do you guys still want to try to play professional 5v5, or you want to go all the way with 3x3?
Pa što se tiče mene, ja inače sam prošle godine igrao malo što se tiče košarke ovdje u Srbiji, malo igrao sam kvalitetnu ligu za eko sport i regionalnu, za 2 ekipe sam igrao.
Gdje si trenirao pre toga, pošto nismo...
Pa znate kako, ja sam svugdje trenirao, znači ja sam, kako vam kažem, Sean Livingston ovdje u Srbiji, znači nema gdje nisam igrao, znači počeo sam u Zvezdi za mlađe pionire i onda kad su došli Topići i ostali igrači, sa 14 godina sam prešao u FNP, pa onda je bila Sava gdje sam njega upoznao, onda posle toga Slodes za vreme leta, pa onda sam otišao u Vuk gdje sam isto igrao kvalitetnu ligu, kadetsku, upoznao dosta ljudi tamo, dosta drugara napravio i tako samim tim prelazio svugdje i završio sam sad u eko sportu. Sad možda ne znam, gledam negdje drugo pređem, ali ovo mi je najbolje, ovo sad se fokusiram što tiče 3x3-a, meni je veoma interesantan taj sport, tako da ono.
Što ti se slaže?
I was really actually looking forward for this question. I was really looking forward to this question. But basically for us, especially here in OverHoops, is that some of us, you know, we really have the talent, we really have the patience to expand our games more than our limited capabilities at the moment, and we're taking this 3x3 chance just to make something out of ourselves. Maybe some of us might end up professional, maybe some of us might get really deep into 3x3, but at the end of the day, as long as we get to play basketball and get to make money while doing it,
it's a dream come true.
You can't really complain, because it's at least it's being pro, but in different levels, completely different levels. And even then, I could let's say right now I'm 20. Let's say I get signed into a decent 3x3 team. I mean, there isn't really like a big league now, but let's say I go for representation of Angola, let's say, or Portugal for 3x3. And even then, other coaches are seeing, 5v5 coaches are seeing, and they could take, okay, he plays really good defense here, and he like can push forward. And 3x3 is a very fast game. Something personally that I realized since I started playing 3x3 is that you play 3x3 for like a good week straight with good tournaments, and we go to play 5v5 and you realize how much slower the game becomes for you. Even though like it's fast, it's going, but your reads become better, because in 3x3 you're very limited. You have 12 seconds and you always have to be moving. And so, like I said, it's just a great chance for everyone in our team. We have some undersized guys, but they have heart, they play, and you know, we really just want to make something out of that at the end of the day.
Undersized.
Not you. He hasn't met Chevy, right? He hasn't met Chevy.
But Chevy a hooper though.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's a hooper.
For me, honestly, right now I'm in high school in Atlanta, and my goal is to make it to college. Like, cause if my personal belief is, my first goal was be the best in the family. And I'm there. I'm happy. For me, it was when I can beat my uncle one-on-one, I'm the best. So I beat him many times. And then I consider myself the best in the family. Now my goal is just to make it to college. If I can make it to a D1, D2 school to play basketball, after 4 years of those kind of coaches and facilities and just seeing the next level of basketball, behind me I can have a diploma, which is not going to go anywhere. And I can say, okay, let me see if I can play 5-on-5, 3x3, whatever, overseas, in America, something. If not, I'm happy. Like for me, playing in college is just as much like as impressive to me as playing in Europe, because it's just, I didn't believe it. They told me like, oh yeah, college this, college that. When I went to America and I saw how much people care about college sports, I was like, my God, my God. But I would really like to play in college. My personal belief is, if I go to college, I think I can play professionally. If I don't go to college, it's time to hang it up, try something else.
And you have 1 more year in high school?
I have 1 more year of high school.
Okay. And after that you don't know now if you have some...
Right now I don't have anything, because the team that we had this year was very senior based. Seniors are the guys that are last year in high school, and a coach owed them minutes. So most of the minutes went to them, and most of the offensive looks went to them. And I was even surprised as an incoming junior, as someone who was new, to even get to play was fantastic for me. I really got to play. I was like, I can consider myself like a part of the rotation. I really played. I had some big games, some games where coach trusted me a lot. But it was still like, give the ball to the seniors and help them get points. Next year, we're going to be seniors. And I talked to my coach and he was like, listen, we have a possibility of you playing our first 5. That's where the opportunity is given. The rest is up to me. So we'll see.
So good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Sad sad je malo 3x3. Znači to je vjerojatno bila tvoja ideja generalno. I kako si došao da odlučio kao ok, sad bi krenuo klub, pozobio taki i to?
Pa prvo, pre svega, naravno, vaš isto također dobar drugar, Prvi je bio ovde sa svojom ekipom i nekako video sam kako njihova ekipa to radi, prilike.
Oni su krenuli pre vas, znači?
Oni su krenuli malo pre nas, da, ali video sam malo kako to ide, to sve ti turniri, ima neki juniorski, pa možda neki seniorski prijave. I onda sam rekao, pa mogu ja to isto tako nekako slično da napravim, da skupim drugare neke moje i da vidimo kako to može da ide, da krene. I onda smo samim tim krenuli da igramo te turnire, ali da se uigramo i samim tim, išli smo na Adu, gde smo tamo imali treninge sa ekipama, bili su Slodex, Koštak, razne bukvalno ekipe koji su isto u razvoju, koji su dolaze i tu smo krenuli s njima malo da treniramo 2 put, 3 put možda nedeljno i samim tim tu smo i krenuli takve turnire da igramo. Nekad ne može vamo neko, nekad ne može ali može onda pa može jedan iz neke ekipe da se ubaci za nas da igra i tako smo samim tim krenuli.
I znači prvi turnir samo si znao pravila?
Pa nije sad, znao sam, ali mislim, pošto sam pre toga i gledao dosta gledao sam dosta utakmica, ovih 3x3 Pro i tako dalje. I onda sam skopčao odmah. Mislim, to kad pogledaš recimo 2-3 snimka kako to sve ide, pravila, to može odmah se skopče. Ili uglavnom da se objasni, evo ja sam vodio jednu ekipu u U16 pre par dana, gde ništa nisu znali što se tiče 3x3, nisu znali pravila i to. Ja sam im objasnio u roku od 5-10 minuta, oni su odmah skontali, znači kako to ide, znači ovo ono, pravilnik, ovo ono. I odmah su krenuli i eto, došli do finala odmah, tako da ono, bilo je odmah ono, može se skoči.
Na početku, mislim, jeste igrali s onim matorcima?
Kako nismo čak. Pa ja sećam, kad su mene zvali za ovaj 3x3 turnir, u moje glavi je to bilo totalno drugačije. Se rekao, čovječe, ja igram u Americi, sad će vremena pokažem. Ja sećam i dolazim od prvu utakmicu u 23. Izlaze oni na teren, neki čovjek ima 10.
Pradu, ono, 2 metra.
Prada ovako, rekao, mislio da neko pustio mog čala.
Da.
Ja stanem, ako gledam u njega, i ja rekao, dobro, sad ću ja u njega, šinem, sad ćemo ono, 1 na brzim. Ja sećam, znači, trojka smo bili ja, on, jedan moj drug Peki i ja, a on je sedao na klupi. I kreće utakmica, prvi, drugi, treći napad, ja sećam se ja trećeg napada, ja zvezde vidim, ja ne znam šta se događa.
To je odmah.
A ja nisam mogu da dišem, znači ja sebe smatram kao neko u dobroj formi, treniram 2 puta dnevno, sve to stoji. Ja se osjećam, znači ide treći napad, on dribla lopti, on meni ovako pokazuje, dođem mu napravim blok, rekao čovječe, ajde, I ja gledam Nani, a Nani ovako sedi na klupi, Nani nama nešto kao, come on guys, let's go. I ja Nani odavde, ono pokazujem čovječe izmena, spašavaj me, molim te. On, no, man, you good. Ko šta good čovječe, jesi ti normalan. Aj, izmena moj, ja kad sam došao na klupu, kad su oni meni tražili da ja opet uđem u igru, to
to je posle minut bila, ono, ne može.
Ali mene odveo, ne znam da li ga znate, zove se Marko Miljaković. Miljković, tako je, pa on je mene jedan dan zvao, kaže, ajde dođeš na da igramo 3-3. Ja sam mislio 3-3, ono drugario. Ja dolazim tamo, ono, neki matorci igraju, tamo se deru.
Rotacije, besni.
Nema, ono, deru, svađe, ma kakav faul crni. Či ja sam tamo batine dobio, šepo sam kući. I tad sam vidio da je 3x3 totalno drugačiji sport od košarke, ti tamo, apsolutno, ono,
tako bilo
pomeraš se konstantno, trči, skači, hvata skokove, guraj se s nekim likom koji ti deluje ko štapić, ali ne možeš da ga skloniš.
Onda ti guraj se s onim što ne deluje ko štapić.
Da, pa prije tu izgleda čovjek ono ko automehaničan, ono ko da benča kola i ja kad krenuo njega da ga pomerim, on sam rekao, mama, kaj ti ostani fino, to nemoj se cimeš, svako držao jednom rukom, nisam mogu se pomerim.
And you would say that that's the main difference between the 5v5 and 3x3?
100%. The game is way faster, and I mean, if you're not used to being able to perform at your best while running on your low reserves, you can struggle a bit, but it's adaptable. It's very adaptable. Some people like shy away from it at first. Like he wasn't really. It took some convincing to get him to come play with us.
Excuse me.
You're not get injured. I mean.
Yeah, I understand. At the same time as well. But what I wanted him to learn from this experience is that sometimes there's so many more looks, as I have the same problem, and he always tells me this, where we can make it way more complicated for ourselves than we need to. And just how to use our bodies differently than we would, because in a 5 situation, we're so used to maybe help defense that, okay, I'm playing 3x3 now, I can get to almost the free throw line, bump him with my shoulder, and I'm fading, and I mean, he's tall, unless it's some crazy defender, I mean, he can easily shoot over that, you know? And, you know, it's just moves like that we should try to, like, implement more, and it literally helps us expand our game in our way. Like I talked about the reads and how it slows down the game for us once we start playing 5v5. And that's just something we're all, like, thankful about.
One top question, who is the best player among you?
I'm gonna say me.
Yeah. He's him.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
We call him.
Excuse me.
I'm not there.
No, he's.
I could be at some point, like.
I'm saying, listen, if your viewers want it, we can record it, play one-on-one, and see what happens.
Of course.
No, but I'm good. Like we always talk about this.
Maybe right now, like our 1v1 record is like tied 100%.
Yeah, I think it's me. I personally think it's me.
He's delusional.
I think I'm stronger. I think I'm faster.
Let's just say we're all good at some parts.
Exactly, but like we always talk about this because we're really good friends and we always mess around. We're talking like who's better. But I think even if like he beats me 15 times in a row or I beat him 15 times in a row, we're still not going to agree on who's the best player.
Never.
Never stop. But personally, I think I agree.
That's okay. I mean, if we play like all jump shots, he's fucked.
Excuse me?
All jump shots, he's fucked. He's
just bigger. Yeah, he's just bigger.
That's fine. I can use his size to his advantage. I mean, he's bigger, but my footwork is better.
Last time you talked trash, we said what happened.
Of course, I got to.
Last time you talked trash, what happened?
You're not gonna have confidence within yourself.
Excuse me?
You're not gonna have confidence.
No, I'm saying last time you talked trash, we know what happened.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No comment.
No comment, exactly. You talk trash to me, new face. Two dunks, backboard block, move, step back, 3.
Yeah, right.
Nah, it's okay.
Sada smijem situaciju malo. Koliko je, znači, vas rotacije?
A što se tiče ko je sve deo kao ekipe, pa ima nas otprilike jedno 9, 10, tako, prilike nešto. Skupine sa...
I to zavisi što prekina, nego to zavisi kao ono, ko je slobodan, kad je...
Da, znači ko može da igra gde, inače ima tokom vikenda možda 2-3 turnira. Neki su u Beogradu, neki su u Požarevcu, neki su svugde i sad vidim, ja napišem u grupi ko želi, ko može da igra, kad, gde. Sad ovaj kaže ne može, ovaj kaže može, ali ovaj turnir hoće neko sa mnom. Kao mogu ja, treba nam još dvojica, pa onda verovatno pitamo iz ove druge grupe, iz drugih ekipa kao da li može neko, da li hoće neko da ide s nama, ako hoće onda i pozovemo i tako se stalno menjamo, mislim.
Jasno. I kako se zove, koji vam je najčešće do sada kao timu?
Najbolji uspeh, pa generalno nismo još ništa osvojili što se tiče prvog mesta šampionata, to je Slodex šampion toga što se tiče juniora, kapa dole, ali bili smo drugi na tom turniru koji je bio Beograd na vodi, tu su bile ekipe poput Vekola, Slodexa, isto dosta dobre ekipe iz Beograda, gdje smo igrali s njima, znači u Slodexu smo se snašli s njima u polufinalu, baš smo i dobili 19-14, bilo je bukvalno kao ćao zdravo i do finala smo igrali sa Vekolom koji je poluprofesionalna ekipa, oni su možda jedan od najboljih juniorskih ekipa što tiče toga U21, U23, igrali su sad finalni u Sokobanji sa Slodexom i s njima smo par puta isto igrali ovako i na turnirima i mogu reći da smo dosta bili blizu, 18-14, pa 14-11, znači bili smo u nekim trenucima, nismo mogli nikada i dobijemo, ali uvijek smo bili blizu s njima, tako da negde smo malo su oni rang više bolje od nas, ali uz malo još više treninga bit će to kako treba.
A da sada ste uglavnom da će sve turnire ste igrali under 23 ili 1?
Igrali smo, kažem, opet smo igrali jedan turnir, ali to je bukvalno bio jedan od prvih turnira u Banovcima, gdje smo se snašli sa, mislim, prijavili smo se za juniore i za seniore. Kao, ajde, probamo seniorski, možda nam usere neka grupa, dobijemo neke lake. Uopšte nije bila stvar, sve, grupe su, ekipe su, dođe tamo, hoće ovo sve pare. I mi, nažalost, bili smo u grupi sa Pančevom i 3x3 Pančevo i Pirot. A Pirot je prošle godine osvojio MTS-ov čitav finalni turnir, otišli na World Tour, znači bukvalno profi ekipa. Mi kad smo vidjeli grupu mi rekli, šta ćemo da radimo sad, razguzit će nas 21-0, nećemo pojene uspjeti da damo. Tu je igrao i Gaga Vjelica, koga dosta poštujem, on je tu u igri već 11 godina što tiče toga 3x3-a, igrao je sve i svašta. Ja sam morao lično da ga čuvam, to je bilo kao da čuvaš Kobe Bryanta, znači ti si ruki u NBA-u, ti čuvaš igrača koji je sve prošao.
Gdje si ti pošao kao?
Da, kao ko si ti, da.
Da, ti misliš ko si ti.
Da, i onda ništa, i mi igrali s njima, mislili smo bit će ludnica, razvalit će nas, kad mi odigrali malo par, dali neke koševe, mi rekli, možemo da igramo ovo s njima, mi smo u igri zapravo. I valjda nas je koštala jedna trojka, bukvalno dali su oni trojku za pobedu i tu se nažalost završilo meč 14-11, 14-12, ali mogu reći smo taj meč sjajno igrali, ako smo imali 2 poraza, prvi meč smo malo loše odigrali, drugi je bio sasvim, kao već over the moon, možda već igraš s njima kao I da, što tiče seniora to je to, ostalo smo sve igrali ovako, juniorske U20, U18, U21, šta god se nađe, tako da.
I kada kreće sezona ponovo sad?
A sad je završena, generalno sve su završene što tiče ovih profesionalni MTS, soccer beto, U23 seniorski, ali sad se prave ovde po Beogradu neki organizatori tu gledaju da prave neke turnire ovde, mislim, amaterski neki turniri, kao ko hoće, dođe, igra, plati kotizaciju, osvoji pare. I ima i juniorski, ima i seniorski i tako da, igrali smo par ti tu. Međutim, sad kad je bilo leto, svi su negde na moru, svi negde nisu tu, pa sam ja nekako... Egipat sad ide, da.
Da će Bogi.
Ali nekako morali smo malo da improvizujemo, pa su zvali neke sa strane kao, hoćeš da igraš kao, pa kao može, pa se onda nismo pokazali, lijepo jer su i oni novi u igri, ali eto. Nadam se da od sljedeće sezone će, pa ja mislim će početi opet u zimi, prilike, winter tour za seniore, za juniore i tu ćemo biti sigurno spremni da igramo, takmičimo se, tako da.
Jel organizujete vi neke turnire?
Mi još ništa nismo organizovali, ali ova jedna ekipa jeste, znači već uveliko to Solik će organizovao par turnira. Bili su veoma dobri turniri, mislim, koliko su mogli da priušte, dobro je. I generalno dođemo tamo da se čeličimo s njima, da vidimo kakve su ekipe, da li su išta napredovali i dosta ekipa sad su u razvoju, sad skapirali su neke poteze, napade, igraju sad u Požarevcu, sad hoće malo da se dokazuju više. Biće veoma interesantno kad bude bilo zima, tako da
Slušaj ideju, brate, za turnir.
Kaži.
Ide možda i s tvojom kompanijom ovom drugom, za mixtape-ove.
Aha.
Možda je, brate, svetleću loptu, si vidio?
Ja mislim... Da.
Okay.
Bolesna lopta. Brate, napravite turnir da se igra noću. Samo, brate...
A, da samo mrak i samo se vidjelo.
Da se pogine, brate, ali da bude svetla i da bude lopta, brate, i snimiš.
I da bude kao...
da navataš s tim.
Ali niko ispod 30, brate, da dobijemo batine tamo po mraku.
Da, niko ne, da.
Samo, brate, juniorski.
Može, sve super.
Pa dobro, možda čak i napravimo, ne mi da igramo, ali možda nešto malo seniorsko i to, malo dobijemo i mi neki. Vidjet ćemo, dobra ideja, stvarno.
Sviđali se.
Možda 10% ide tebi za prihodnje.
Ne, nas samo, brate, sponzorstvo.
Ne, vi možete podcast zadržite kao vi ste...
Budemo komentatori.
Još kako neko prikuca pa kao baš go...
Da.
SCM, brate, trojka, znaš što izađu u NBA-u, brate?
Da. Kia MVP, 3 point. Made by SerbianSwish.
Player of the game.
Ti si baš pomenuo Slodex, vrati, više puta sada ovdje i to je meni kao baš, kako sam ušao u 3x3 priču preko njih i kao ovaj drugi podcast već i to mi je drago što sam mi kao, mislim, čuli smo se tako što ti šerao njih kao i sve to i neki kao gotima da se...
Pa ja lično znam Frijeva već godinama i godinama, trenirali smo zajedno u Slodesu, u Savi i on kad je krenuo sa tom pričom, prvo ja i on smo igrali neki turnir koji je bio isto organizovan od MTS-a, valjda prošle godine u zimu. Mi je bilo kao, ajde se prijavimo, kao 3x, iskopirat ćemo kako se to igra. Mi nevjerovatno došli do finala, ja i on i još par drugara. I ja mislim da je od tog momenta on odlučio, mislim ja sam rekao kao, ok, super, osvojili to, kao, ajde nas je da igram 5-5. On od tog momenta je rekao kao, ajde sad da vidim kako ćemo to 3x3, ajde malo da napravim. I on napravio svoju ekipu, naravno, ja sam tu ispratio, video što oni rade, što osvajaju. I onda sam tu tako pre mjesec i po dana odlučio, ja isto tako napravim i onda tako smo sad neki rivali, sad ja i on nešto malo kao aj dođi na turnir, aj ti dođiš kod mene, aj vamo tamo i tako sad, ali dobri smo drugari ovako, da se družimo.
Ali zdravija atmosfera nego u 5-5, bar nekako po mom nekom...
Pa jeste, malo volimo to da se takmičimo, da bacamo, da se borimo više, ali ovako je, da, zdravija je dosta atmosfera i on.
And do you have some guy that when you played against him you were like, God damn, what's this? Because they talked about Bjelica and you talked about some guy like beard. So
it's mainly like I usually feel like the whole team, most really good competitive teams that we play with, I love their movement, because in 3x3 movement is everything, and that's mainly like what pisses me off when I can't read the movement. So it's like if I can't communicate with my teammates, and sometimes I get too into my head and I'm not able to like space out, call a timeout, and then be slow. And I'm like, okay, they're doing this here. We play zone. Every time they pick up to the right, Andrea stay in the middle. And me and Vujic would usually like either he takes right side, and whatever switch happens, he just stays down, and the person who's in the middle has to call it. But sometimes I will forget to say that. Sometimes we'll be really into it, and maybe let our egos get in the way, and we just want to play, and we won't call a timeout. And then when they call a timeout, we're all like. It's absolutely dying.
That's me.
Yeah, we made a big mistake once in Banovci when we played. I think it was a senior match. We didn't call a single timeout the first game, and we were down like 16-5. And then I saw the score. I'm like, holy shit, bro! Call a timeout, bro! Like we are getting clapped. And
was
like
that team that you told me, because they were messing with me when we came to the MTS tournament, and I have no idea. I just recognized some guys I used to play with in Zemun, but I'm watching this, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, završit ću kulicima, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to show I'm not nervous, so I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, we're good. And Nani just says to me, hey, see those guys there? Watch them. What's the name of those guys in the yellow jersey?
That's what I was about. Is it Veko, right?
Yeah, Veko.
There's one guy, genuinely, that I might say that, like, having to play with him really always brings out the best in me. It's Victor. I forgot his last name, Bogdanovic.
Victor Bogdanov.
Bogdanov, thank you. Him. Man, we were playing last tournament that we had at like Ada before the MTS one. Mid-game, shoots a 3, turns around. It's 3x3, and he just gets the ball, hasn't shot the whole game. First 3, he turns around. I was like, and genuinely, the way he plays is something that I always try to pick it up from when like I play against him. I like talk to him a lot. We're really good friends, and I like learning from him because he's one of those guys. He's always at his own pace. No matter if you're on him or whatever, if you play too much on him, he's gonna draw fouls. You play too high, he's gonna drive. You play, let's say, you give him a little space, he's gonna call a screen and no look pass or shoot it over you. Generally, like really, really good establishment, and they've played at like Cyprus.
Played like a challenger tournament in Cyprus, like their team, his team, and overall they're just like one of the best, junior under 23 teams. Like in a couple of years, they're probably going to play probably a challenger or anything like. They're really, really going.
Really good. And they have a center as well.
Jesus.
My part is Manda. We do, but it's usually like, not compared to these guys. Like Manda is the first guy. Like I go to foul him, and like he asked me, "Bro, are you okay?" And I wasn't strong,
Keep
like,
going.
He's going up, and I'm like there to stop him. Like okay, like he misses, but like damn, like stone. Like and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay? I hit you.
They're so big, like that team that he was talking about. I don't know what their name. Veg, yeah. They're all just big and wide. Ko frižider, brate. Ih je ovako širok je gledati. Ja nisam znao ko igra playa, ko igra centra, šta igra. Stvarno svaka momcima čast. Gledao sam ih da igraju Ili koji su igrali u 60% gasa, neke nesrećnike su natukli i su se vratili, seli, odmorili, odvezali pertli i sve, ako gledali, ja rekao, momci. Hats off.
So the way you talk, I get the vibe that you are the coach on the floor.
Yeah, I have to, man. I'm the one that like mentally I like getting in everyone's head. I mean, last tournament we had, we almost ended up getting to a fight, but specifically me. And they were all weird. I was like mid game, I turned to him and I just smile, and he gets it that it's all an act because it's like I told him I have an idea. I've never played 3x3 on my full defensive side because when I'm growing up here in Serbia, like at least the places like at Sava, I played in a small club called Plava Zvezda. We play most of our games in Novi Sad. I was always mainly used as a defensive player because I'm not scared to get hit. I'm really not. I'm the type of person, I will be all up in your face, and the minute you do some slight movement, I will flop and refs on you. Then like you are getting mad. I got to.
I would not want to play him. My God, he's so like
very obnoxious.
He's my best friend, right? But my God, is he annoying. My God, I remember the game he was talking about. We're playing, and literally there's this one guy, he looks like he's out of the army, like his head shaved, has like a Serbia jersey, he's like this, and he's shooting a 3, and Nani runs up to him and like this on the knee. And this guy, brick, and turns towards the ref, and Nani looks like, I looked at him, čovjek kad rolet napadne, gotovo, razumiješ, ne znam šta ćemo da radimo. My God, how much he was talking, like, I think it was like 20-16 for them. And this one guy goes for the layup. He looks at Nani, and he like double clutches it and misses. And I have never heard Nani speak in Serbian on a basketball court. Gloop, and just takes the ball and goes. I saw this dude's face. This dude's face wanted to strangle him. But that was a really fun game.
Yeah, I mean, they let their person. They didn't even want to high five me after some guys after the game.
They were like one seeded in this whole tournament. Bili su prvo plasirani, kao oni su favoriti, oni će dobiti tu. I onda došli smo kao mi. Mislim, ekipa je generalno iz reprezentacije do 19 godina i to, ali to nema ništa znači. Znači, ono, igraju za reprezentaciju. Pa šta, evo sad smo napravili, za malo smo i dobili 21-19, bilo je, ono, bukvalno na jednu loptu.
I još, ono, taj 21. poen, poštovanje sudije, sve to stoje. Šta je njima svirano za taj, oni su, završili su basket sa slobodnim bacanjem. Da. Ja mislim da smo mi dobili 6 faulova tu utakmicu, oni 36. Znači, ono, mislim, svim dužnim poštovanjem, vi ste veći i čvršći. Ti kao sudija ti to moraš da vidiš. Evo, on je čuvao lika koje je moje visine 3 put moje širine. I onda ovaj stane malo, i sudija ono faul. Ja rekao, čovječe, pa šta treba da radi?
A najgore su sudije.
Posle toga dolaze nam kao, ajde, pazite malo kako igrate prljavo. Ajde, važi, vrate, ovo ti je važi. Kao sigurno, pa bit ćemo malo.
A ja sam prije što to mi je bila taktika, ja sam vidio da on ne svira ništa. I ja sećam, on je meni svirao, da li end one, da li nešto. I ja njemu prišao da stidio svaka čast. Gospodine, svaka vam čast. Da mu se uvolim, posle toga mi je svirao sve, rekao, sad samo ovo. Gospodine, kako ste u divne patike, ono, kako... Gospodine, znate, ono, mogli biste u NBA da sudite, ono, za media day da vas likne.
A koja je to razlika sudija ovdje u Srbiji, 3x3 i kao 5x5 i još kao u Americi?
Pa...
Kao bi tehnička, na primjer,
mi ovdje...
granica, da li postoji?
Nama je, kad sam igrao, ja sam ovdje igrao za Zemun i za basket. Ja znam da je moj trener, Nikola Nikolić, znači, mi nismo smeli da progovorimo sa sudijama, pošto se sudije već bojale mog trenera. Znači, on je svaku utakmicu crvenc na tečanim, onako ima venu ovdje mu iskače. Sudi psuje sve po spisku, sudija onako. Ovdje su mnogo tolerantni, u Americi su, problem što sudi, ja smatram su oni prosto onako frustrirani. I on kad odluči da on tebi neće da svira ništa, on tebi neće svirati ništa i ti tu ne možeš ništa.
U Americi?
U Americi. Ja mislim tako, 3x3, ono što sam vidio, mislim samo pušta grublja košarka. Mislim da sudije nisu loše, nego da se prosto pušta grublja košarka. Ali u Americi, stvarno, njihove sudije su mi najgore. Znači tamo, ono, mi smo ove godine ispali u četvrtfinalu državnog. Znači uspjeli smo, imali smo najbolji rekord u istoriji škole. I otišli smo kao taj final 8, ili ne znam, ono, četvrtfinale. I mi smo šutnuli tu utakmicu 12 bacanja, ovi su šutnuli 30. I stvarno sudije je bilo odvratno, posle toga smo pokušali da se žalimo nešto. Ništa od toga.
Jedina uloga sudije je da postoji, brate, konstantno granici za vas i za drugi tim.
Ali za njih nije bilo, moj drugi dobio tehničku grešku, sam pogledao sudiju. Ovaj svirao, ovaj kao svirao faul njemu. I ovako pogledao.
Ne znam, to je bilo isto u NBA-u kad je ovaj jedan gledao, da li Wallace iz Portlanda. Ima baš onaj snimak kao...
Ne, Tim Duncan.
Nešto, ima i taj, ima i u Lakersima nešto kad je bilo i ovaj ga... Technical, goodbye, kao nešto tako. Samo ga je gledao, bukvalno.
Ne, kao, sam pojenta sudije je tu da budu samo, vrate, medijatori, da ne budu oni glavni na utakmici, nego samo da let the players play. I mean, jedan sudije su samo tu da, to ne treba da budu glavni na utakmici.
A i ti ne trebaš se zamiriš, ja sam gledao mog trenera, ja razumijem, ti si sudija, ti si kvalifikovan, ti si prošao te neko, ti nešto valjda znaš. Ali ti moraš da budeš u stanju da komuniciraš s trenerom, tebi trener ima u svakom trenutku pravo da kaže izvinite gospodine, možete samo da mi objasnite zašto se ovo svira ovdje, ne svira se s druge strane.
Da, i neki sudije neće da objasne, mogu odmah da je tehničko.
I često oni to shvataju lično, kao da on sad mora svoje akcije da objašnjava njemu, a to ne treba da bude tako, to treba da bude, vidi, tvoj igrač radi ovo i ovo, što on je, sudije je tu na kraju dana kao educator za igrače, da kaže vidi ti ovako možeš da igraš, ovako ne možeš.
Da.
Ali dobro.
A u Srbiji što tiče sudija je lapo, ima i sudija koji mogu stvarno ti objasne kako treba, kako je, koji su već u igri sude, znači i 3x3 znaju sude i 5x5 znaju sude, pa 1x1 znaju sude, znači oni su bukvalno za sve i mogu ti objasniti gdje je bio faul, gdje i nema potrebe s njima nešto previše se svađaš, neke sivonje, dođu ovako, razrevim se na facu, ovako, kako ti to, i onda, a imaš i ove druge sudije koji ništa ti ne objašnjavaju zašto je bilo tako, jako ništa nisi uradio i mogu za samo nešto da pitaš zašto oni mogu tehničku da ti daju, tako da sudije su ovdje dosta diskutabilne.
I'm curious, what was your stuff like with refs? Because you don't speak Serbian. What was it like with refs? I'm just genuinely curious.
I always, it's like, I try to win them over, so like, anytime that they tell me something's wrong, I'm like, oh, hvala sudija. Like, I just smile to them and it's like, yeah, like I shake their hand, it's all that. And I mean, being a small player, even from that tournament, it made me realize that I can use my size to advantage, especially if like the sudija are easy to call, like I'm gonna say like not fouls they're supposed to call. I could use that against them because like I was talking to him before the game and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna try to flop and get a few charges this game. He was like, no way, it's gonna work. they had, by the end of the game, they had 10 fouls, we had 7, just because of me.
Yeah.
And that completely, like, again, that made my game expand even more. So now when I like head into these tournaments defensively, I always know where to put myself, and just little movements where the areas I can get away with even fouls I make. Like sometimes I'm really good at shielding off the sudya, and like I'll hit someone with their arm and they get mad and like, oh, like, you know, foul. And by the time you allow yourself to get emotional, me as a defender, that's all I need you to get. Because now, as he talked about the guy who was driving, and I called him like because literally, like I word for word, I literally felt like I knew what he was going to do. He gets the ball at the 45, jab. As soon as he pounded the dribble, I hit him with my chest open, and I just take a step back, and he loses his footing because he went too much in and throws the ball up. And I mean, in a 3x3, if you don't keep a level headed, because I noticed this for myself, when I'm too into it, when my shots are not going in, I might start chucking, forcing things that I would never even go through, even if I'm hot or feeling it. So, but yeah, to answer the main thing with the sudya, I never had a problem, honestly. I'm not one like you will see me like go to the like, oh no, why? That's a foul. I mean, we have one that's like our really close friend, Vladen. Only maybe him that I would go like cry to, but you know, that's he's our friend. You know,
I think there's levels to it as well.
This man is on another level.
Yeah, but I think there's levels to it because like we had the privilege one time of being refed by a guy that refed ABA Liga. Okay. So that's realistically in Serbia the highest you can get, and you could really see like he wasn't like immediate, like a ref has to like impose, like he has to, ja sam sudija, ti si igrač. Nema ti meni kao klinac da ti s 14 godina meni dođeš da ti meni objašnjaš moj posao.
Bigger discipline.
Odmah se znalo. Odmah se znalo, znači s trenerom se razgovara, s igračima se ne razgovara.
I ti pro sudije prikazuju veći autoritet što se tiče njihovog posla, znači oni sude tu ABA ligu i oni imaju tu neku, kako kaže, strast, da ono, ja sam sudija, ti nemaš šta da mi govoriš, objasnit ću ti ako mi lepo kao kažeš, ali ako kreneš se dereš, pam, tehnička, to je to, onda nema dalje rasprava. Pa jeste.
To je baš pričali s momci iz Lateksa, da im nisu tražili nikada pade tehničke, tako da je to vama.
Pa tehnički što tiče toga mi, ja mislim da nikad nismo dobijali tehnički jer mi nekako, pa mislim, ne znam, on možda jeste i Jani na nekim turnirima, ali to su ovim fili amaterski turniri, tako da mislim.
Mislim da je Nani zaslužen 7 tehničkih grešaka protivničkih.
Da, to jeste, ali...
You should pay for them, you know?
He gets 10% of every fight, I'm telling you.
Tako da, ali dobro, mislim, možda bude bilo za vreme zime malo ono, games on the line i tako dalje i sad mora ono, sad sudije moramo nešto ovako i ali...
And do you communicate on English during the games?
Serbian mostly or English. I mean, at least when we're playing, I don't know, it really just depends how we're feeling, who we're playing. If like I'm really into it, like I can go up to Andre and be like, okay, but when he comes down, like don't jump, like either stay left, force him going left, you know, like I'll tell him that in Serbian, or like I'll say when like if there's a screen, I'll be like, I'll tell Vujovic like stani desno, like just stay there and like hedge, and like I'll just mix it up, you know, just to mix it up, because maybe sometimes I might express myself in like English in a way that he might not get it, so I always try to just use both of it, like English and
depends.
The only problem is like how they talk and they can formulate like sentences. I would love to talk the same way I talk it in English, just to have the vocabulary.
The thing is, I don't talk on the court for one reason and one reason only. It's because I can't breathe. The thing is, like, I can be in the best shape of my life. When I'm walking up the stairs, I can't breathe. And how many...
Point the finger.
And I'm trying to explain to Eric something. Okay, what has they go? And I lose the ability to speak English when I get tired. You go take him, please. I go back. And how many... I've never... Like, I'm quiet on the court. I remember like this tournament, I really got mad the last game, the MTS one, FMP, and I remember screaming out, listen, don't talk anymore, and now he's just like, oh, okay. He can talk, nice.
Za mene je malo drugačija priča što se tiče ono, pošto ja isto malo kao Jani volim isto malo pikam odbranu, tako malo na plejeve više. Ja volim da pričam, ja volim da se den, bukvalno, znači ono, Andrija vamo, jako me možda i ne slušaju, ako me možda i ne jebu 1%, 2%, za svoju dušu kažem, budi vamo, budi tamo, ajde sad izađi i ono, kako to ono.
Jes, ali čuješ se kako se ne čuješ čovječe?
Čujem se, vrat, pokušavam, barem, ono. Evo sad kad sam bio sad juče, pred 2 dana, inače u 3x-u ne smiješ da imaš trenera, ali pošto je bio neki amaterski turnir, ja sam uzeo tu ulogu trenera kao i govorio im šta da rade kao ovi, kao mlađi, kao klinici, izađi sad napolje, odradi jedan pik, idi na slip, pa i tako dalje i onda šutni sad, nemoj se plašiš i ja više tu volim da se derem, jako možda nisam glavni igrač, ali kao za odbranu bar.
Ne bi ja bio trener, nema šanse. Nema šanse, pa pobio bi vas sve, majke. Gađao bi, znači povadio bi vas sve iz terena i igrao bi sam. Majke.
Da li evo vama sad više odgovara to kad nema trenera ili...
Ne, ja volim trenera, ja mogu trenera, što ja, stvari kod mene reći na engleskom, like, for me, if I'm playing for a coach, I will kill myself for you on the court, no problem. You tell me jump with your head, get the ball, I'll do it. But I have to trust you, like, if I know you will go out of your way to help me, there is nothing on the court I won't do for you. But if you're a coach that tells me one thing, thinks a second, does a third, why would I care?
Of course, yeah.
But if it's a good coach, I would rather play for a good coach any day of the week than with no freedom than without a coach with all the freedom. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's
Johnny,
what I say, but not even just Johnny, just most coaches. Like, for example, it's just here in Serbia, that goes back to the thing where we're saying, like, where the basketball is different. At least here is that if you're really good at one thing, the coach is always going to be able to use that for the whole sake of the team. For the whole sake of the team. And it's always like, of course, sometimes they can be the individuality, but I think that comes when we're younger, because I mean, I remember when I was young, you know, I wanted to be the main guy. I want to be the guy that shoots the ball last if it's a game winner, you know. And then as I grew up and I got older, I saw how important it was more to attract the defense to me by, let's say, being loud, expressive. And then the minute that they don't realize that, for example, something I really like to do is I like to find the smallest guy on the court when like he's playing with me. I come set him a screen and I'll tell him, ajde igra. Or like literally post up and then off my screen, set me a screen and cut, put him behind your back, hold him and ask for the ball here. You know, and just those small plays now is something that I value more now. And even my game style completely changed. I went from a person, he knows this really well.
Yeah.
From shooting, dribbling, I like passing way more now. Passing, I'd rather pass the ball than shoot it any day. Because then I know, because my defense...
Tell him that, yeah, because...
I could miss 100 shots. I could miss 100 shots. And I think this is maybe still why he hasn't kicked me out of OverHoops. But I could miss 100 shots. But on defense, I'm always going to be there. Always. I don't need anyone to come tell me, oh, I'll play here like this. I'm usually the one that like, okay, I'm going to get him going. I'm going to feed him here. Then he's going to be like how hyped and into it. Then everyone is going to play defense.
That's the energy, so...
Yeah,
Big dog energy.
Exactly.
Pretty much when it comes to like coaches, sad znam da srpskom na engleskom više, mislim...
Ma može svega pomalo, brate.
Pa svega pomalo, tako bit će titlovan.
Može i na francuskom, mogu ti pričati na francuskom.
Možda ima ljudi.
Pa ima 5 jezika da mogu ti se obratim, tako samo reći koji hoćeš.
Pa što se tiče trenera, kao što smo pričali, ja inače, ne znam, nekako meni ja to volim da promenim klubove, ne znam zašto. Mislim, znam zašto, ja kao želim da imam nešto što želim da se ja uklopim u tu ekipu, recimo da li to do trenera, da li to do recimo mesta gde treniram i tako dalje, ili ti kvalitet i lige i kako je to sve i onda pokušam možda, mislim znam da nije dobro to da radiš i to nisam lojalan i tako dalje, ali kao neko volim da promenim neku stranu koju vidim, ova ekipa možda ima dobru, imaće igraće neku ligu sledeće godine, ajde tamo da odem da probam kako je. I onda tako nekako samim tim, mislim nije ni do trenera, nekad trener ima svoj autoritet pa hoće da prikaže pa kao nekako mene sa strane, pa vamo, pa tamo. I onda nekako ja se uzurim i ne dam vremena. I to je možda meni greška i onda promenim veoma brzo. I recimo posle mjesec, dva situacija bude drugačija i onda ja zaostanem i onda kao... I zato sam nekako meni je bolje da igram bez trenera, zato što nekako hoću sebe da vidim negde gde mogu da napredujem, gde znam da ja sam pogrešio tu, ja mogu sad da napredujem, ne mora trener da mi govori šta da radim, kako da radim, jako možda i trener pogreši. I zato i ovako igram 3x3, igrao sam takođe i amatersku superligu, koja je isto odlična liga. Mislim, kao više amaterski nivo ima i tu starati to, ali nekako nema trenera i igraš sa nekim svojim drugarima, ortacima i možeš sam sebi da priuštiš kako ko, znači možda da budeš igrač, budeš playmaker, budeš u jednom trenutku šuter ako treba. I tako da...
One more question on the same topic. Do you find it harder for you to find your role in the team without coach?
Not anymore. Let's go back to what I said. Like when I was younger, the ego would get in. Now, no, not at all. Because I trusted my ability. Because at the same time, I put in work. if I want to shoot, if my team needs me to shoot, I can have those days because I know I'll put in the work when no one is around. And so, like I said, I get into the game just to mainly get my teammates involved. That's like my first thing to think of, because now I have more of a pass first mentality, and I think that to growing up here in Serbia, where I realized that you don't. Who said this once? I think it was Tim Duncan. Play for the name in the front, not the one in the back. No.
Vidiš, bro, pametnjak koji je neki filozofa. Ne, ali pričali smo, I think we talked about this a couple days ago, me and him. Like, I remember growing up, like, I played first for basket for a couple of years, then I went to Zemun, and from Zemun to France, and then najduže. I was looking around me, I saw like Eric play, I saw some of my other friends play, and they played for like solid teams, but like I played on a level where like I came from basket and I was the best in basket, and in my head I was like, bro, I'm the best. Now that I'm gonna go to Zemun, the ball's gonna be in my hands. Sine, radi što hoćeš. Then I go to preselekcija in Zemun, and I'm the best there. And I play, I'm scoring, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I come to my coach in selekcija. I'm like, hey, these guys are good. And it went from me being the main guy to having a role. What do you bring to the table? Then I went to France. And I was like, okay, let me see what I do here. I got a role of like a shooter and defender. Then I go to America and I get more of like a Christian Brown type of role. And as a kid I was like, man, am I not good? Is that why I'm not like the main guy on the team? But then later I got to appreciate it because it helped me, like when I go to other teams, like I can like adjust to a role really quickly without my ego getting in the way. I genuinely, personally think I don't have an ego. Like I came to America, like they signed me, like we want you. And I was like, man, are they gonna want me on this basketball team? Are they gonna make me like, throw the water to the players?
Water boy.
And I remember at one point, like I was like, my confidence was down. And I remember like in practice, I was like doing something I missed. And in Serbian, ajde bre, u materinu, sve to. I sad se ono ako puko iza leđa, ako pogledaj me puko sa igrač, kaže, alo, konjino, gdje je samopouzdanje, što? Ja rekao, kako samopouzdanje, batalim ja košarku, kao ovo.
We talked about
It's talking about practice.
We talked about it in some previous podcasts that most guys in the NBA who play today, all previous levels like college, high school, they were the main guys. So it's different and difficult for them to find their roles when they came in NBA because not all of them can be the main guys. So that's the question: can you find your role or not?
I can say that a guy that found his role in Europe and transferred to the NBA was probably Patrick Beverley. I think this guy went to Europe, played like the Ukrainian league.
He played
Cedevita Olimpia. He played in Ukraine, and immediate role defender. He's gonna defend and he's gonna give us buckets. And he's been averaging, like since then, he's been giving points and everything. And then when it transferred to NBA, the role stayed the same.
I have a question. Does anyone know how many points Pat Beverly averaged in high school?
Above 20 or something like that.
40.
Really?
But you should see him. You should see him work out.
Shooting above 50, shooting from the field, from 3 as well, above 50%.
There's a video of Kevin Durant. Okay, yeah.
I love this story.
Kevin Durant. I told this because there's Kevin Durant. Yeah, we go. Okay. And Kevin Looney. Who the hell is Kevin Looney? Like he grabs rebounds and sets screens. Like respect to Kevin Looney, but there's a video of him and Kevin Durant working out. Everything that KD does, Kevin Looney does. Fade away, mid-range shot back. None of them are missing.
Yeah,
these people don't miss.
Was
exactly. Yeah. These people don't miss. They think, oh yeah, I can beat Patrick Beverly. Ma možeš malo sutra. Taj ga pegla s pola terena, nemaš i.
Jezio.
I taj njegov prelaz iz srednje škole u Evropu, da igra tamo, mislili su ljudi kao neće se snaći tamo, došao tamo, averageo 30 poena u Ukrajinskoj ligi, bio MVP tamo, kao ajde sad vidim kako je NBA, sad
teže malo je.
Teže malo, ali dalje našao svoju rol i otprilike...
Ima ugovor već 10 godina.
Ugovor već 10 godina i od tog momenta
ne brinim za njega.
A ne pratite srpsku košarku Euroligu i to?
Ja pratim.
Počeo sam ovaj godin.
To ima isto priča za Branka Lazića, na primjer.
Da.
On bio ubica isto u mlađim kategorijama,
baš
kao ubijao sve, a sad kod seniorske samo defenziva i samo te
tri.
Ali on je širok čovjek, ja sam njega vidio uživo, brate, taj čovjek je ovoliki ruku ima. Čemo ti njega gledaš na televiziji kao rekao je ovaj starac, taj bakli se s terena čoveče. A kad ga vidiš ono jebote, ono, frižider, stvarno frižider je.
Isto tako i za Bogdanovića, ja sam mislio ono kada gledaš na TV-u, izgleda nešto malo, ono, kao malo niži izgleda na TV-u. Kad sam vidio uživo na Bogdan Bogdanović kao,
Šapetine ovako.
to je brate, pogledaš kao jebote, živo šaka, ovo lika, znači, Bože sačuvaj.
Ja sam s njim slikao, to mi je najdraža slika koju imam u životu. S Bogdanom Bogdanović sam slikao za moj rođendan, sam slikao pre par godina, znači ja to izgledam ko klinac. Druže, kad sam ja njega vidio, znači lik. I to još pre nego što je ona prva godina što je on u NBA. Ovako široko, ovolika šapa, ovake ruke, ja rekao. Šta ti rade si?
Treninzi svaki dan, svaki dan 20 godina.
Sigurno.
To je jezivo. Do you like Serbian basketball? To watch and to...
Of course.
Za koga navijaš?
I really do. Partizan.
Ko je bre? Svi neki se znaš je.
Da, on onako ne prati, ali ja zvezda.
I think it was. I think it was because of maybe ABA League I started following EuroLeague more. I always knew about the EuroLeague, but I was really always lazy to go out of my way and like research and watch games. Now, ever since because I'm here, you know, I hear about.
Before that, you watched the NBA.
Yeah, just mainly NBA. And mostly college. But then now, I'm kind of trying to deviate from the NBA. There isn't much I can learn now. The period where I liked watching the NBA the most was when I was modeling myself after 2010-2011 Steph Curry. He played so simple. Just get the ball, one dribble, pull, I'm shooting over you. So simple. Easy. It beat you with the most fundamental things ever, you know. And then if I want to watch someone,
the movement and all that.
Even then, back then he wasn't moving like he used to because it wasn't in 2011, 2012 around that period. Completely wasn't the 3-and-D game like it is now. You know, now your center is if you leave him in the 3-pointer, he's shooting it. It was crazy. And, you know, like the main play they used to run for him.
Sorry, did you? I heard about the Gobert.
Okay, I lost my resume.
Yeah.
Oh, who says that?
I don't know.
Nobody remember. Do you see Anthony Edwards' reaction to that?
Yeah.
I love him, but bro, what? I'm sorry. I don't like Rudy Gobert.
Please continue, sir.
It's alright. I wanted to ask, what is it called in Serbian? There's a screen where like it's doors that they close. You have the
elevator.
Kavis ili
Kavis, right?
Lift.
Yeah.
Pa mislim,
the defenders close and the player passes through.
Kavis, to se je zove Kavis.
So that play and how I saw Curry move himself was like maybe one of the reasons why as a child, like growing up, I had the ego to like always have that run for me. And the only chance I maybe got to have those plays like that was when I played at OSAD Belstars. I don't think I told you about
Belstars, znam, ti Alex igra, da.
And I had maybe one of my best games, like that's the only time. I played at Flash as well, but I didn't get to play games because I had to pay 3,000 euros to FIBA, and I was not going to do that. I was not, because I mean, there's a lot into that. But during that game, like where the coach is like, okay, today we're gonna run like plays for Eric. I'm like, oh. What do you mean? I get in the game because I wasn't a starter then, but I didn't mind. But what I really liked is that I'm very diverse. Like if you want me to take the ball up and not get a turnover, I can do that for you. If you want me to take the best guy on the team, no matter his height, I will do that for you. As long as I can call help defense, of course, at the same time. Because I'm not gonna guard the center, you know, who's just turn his shoulder, put it on my back, and easy layup all the time if I don't get a double team. But I had one of my best games against Radnički. I think I shot maybe 11 for 13 on threes. And yeah, 11
Ko je tebe pustio šutneš 11 trojki, čoveče bože.
11 for 13, and it was,
ja bi ga možda pustio.
it was a very insane, like it was the first time like I felt a coach put their trust in me fully, in that part of the offense. You know, I had guys that in my opinion I would always be happy to pass to. Like guys that were taller than me, way more consistent than me, guys who knew how to read when to pump fake and shoot, because me, when I'm in that zone, I don't care if I see a hand. I'm gonna completely just let it fly until I see it's clanking. And it was just one of those games I was feeling it, and I'll treasure that forever, really, really. And I mean, just like now, I'm okay with being a passer. I've been watching a lot of Magic Johnson, so like at the same time, I'm trying to model my game as much as I can after him, because I read his documentary, how like, you know, his relationship was with Kareem in the beginning, and how like Kareem really wasn't fond of him that much. and them later changing. And there's a really good, what is it called? Like I'm gonna say series about it on Hulu Max.
Yeah.
It's called Winning Time.
Yes.
It talks about, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it talks about the Lakers and how they were at the verge of bankruptcy. This is the time where Boston is like, the best ever.
Draft night, Magic and Bird.
Yeah. So, pretty much from that.
But why Partizan?
Why Partizan?
Why not?
Ooh, that's a very good question. But I'm going to say I practiced with a lot of guys that played in Partizan at first. And I mean, I never used to be able to I sat down, watched the game, be like, okay, Red Star is this, and then Red Partizan. And I never used to really care. Until this season. Okay. I sat down, I watched, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go Partizan.
Were you on a game?
For sure. I've never been to a game.
We'll take you, don't worry.
Yeah,
we got you. I have season tickets, not me, but...
Mi ćemo u Zvezdi, ja i ti. Idemo, gledamo.
Debra, 2 godine, jedna titula, Debra. 2 godine,
Finally.
Šalić, ne, svaka čast. Nisam u tom fazonu kao ću se prozivati. Ne, naravno, poštujem jedne i druge, ali jebi ga.
Pošteno.
Ja nisam pratio Partizan 10 godina. Ja sam gledao Partizan kad je Bogdan igrao, Lučić i to. I išao sam sujakom i posljednja utakmica koju sam gledao je bio Srbije, Partizan Cedevita. I znači 5 sekundi do kraja mi vodimo 2 razlike, ja zovem mama, pobedili smo, molim, jebi. Znači sjeti se Bogdan dodao loptu, neki nas preseče, ne znam kako se sjetim kako se zove, preseko loptu iz pola. I to je posljednji put da je... Ali i ja se smorio, depresija, to i onda nisam 10 godina, znači stvarno 2000, ne znam koja je to godina bila, 2013. 14. I posljednji put sam bio na utakmici sad kad je igrao, gledao sam ABA ligu finale i gledao sam Partizan Bayern u decembru kad je bio. I tu mi je brat dao sezonski kart da gledam. Kad sam vidio tu atmosferu, rekao, mogu bi opet počnem da gledam.
Kad se vrati iz Amerike,
mogu bi.
And who's your favorite Serbian player?
Right now, Kevin Panter.
Serbian.
We call him Panter 2.0.
He is Serbian now.
He changed, but favorite Serbian player, does it have to be current or all time?
All time.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Peja.
Okay, because of the shooting?
My dad got to play against him. My dad played for the national team of Angola, and he got to play against Yugoslavia, he got to play against Divac as well. Really? And because of the shooting as well, 100%. But currently, right now, I have to say Jokic. Jokic.
Because of the passing, that's the moment in your head, first shooting, then...
As a center, to go out of his way, most people or most guards, most centers, they just want their center to come, screen, position yourself properly, the bare minimum of put the guy behind you, ask for the ball here, and he gives you that and more without you having to do that. He will, even more times, he knows how to use his presence to get everyone else going, and that's something that just comes to him like this. You can't teach that. You really can't. It's something that I never had anyone to come sit down with me and be like, okay, Eric, you have to start expanding like this. You have to, talk to people like that. It's either just if you have it in your mind, you have it, but that's just how I view it.
Basketball IQ.
Yeah.
Bogdan's the best Serbian player.
Okay.
A za mene, ja bi, kao all time ili ovako sad treba?
Branko Lazić.
Pa all time, ne. Ja koliko god volim Zvezdu, Branko, ne može Lebron da ga čuva, ne može ni Lebron, ali generalno ovako, ja sam više volao pratim ovako 2000 košarku kad je bila Srbija, Crna Gora i tako dalje, ne znam, nekako mi to, više volao sam takav stil igre.
Znači Krstić.
Da, pa ne baš Krstić, ali Marko Jarić, baš mi je on bio nekako interesantan i u NBA-u kad je igrao, u Clippersima, u Timberwolvesima kad je bio, nekako ima uvijek zna svoju ulogu, zna šta da radi i to. I naravno Andrijanu Limu koji je imao,
to je bilo svaka čast za njega. To ti vredi kod 2 šampionata.
To mu je bilo...
Pa vrati, a što je ono nešto prevario, tako?
Da.
A Konjino, ona jedna glupa.
Žabar.
Ne, pa svi sam gledao da TikToku mi izašao Andrijana Lima, vidim neki lik, brate, neki polusvet. Ja gledam, šta je bre, ko je ovo? Marko Jarić. Ja nisam mogao verovati. Kjeva je bio Jarić sa ovom Adrianom, kaže jeste, kaže pa šta je go? Pa prevario, rekao, molim. You know, Marko Jarić was with Adriana Lima and he cheated on her.
Ma nije neka
Molim?
random soba.
If it was with Rihanna, it's okay.
Nije neka random.
With some random, pratiti
I
NPC.
mean, it's always like that. It's always like that. I mean, I say that even like from personal experience, but it's always people who are, especially guys, when they have money, you know, and they have someone not close to the same stature, but they have their own thing. Like if that woman decides to walk out of your life like this, you know, you'll hop in your ego and be like, okay, but I'm still this Cal basketball player, you know, and that's why every like girl that they can just call with money get, you know, they end up making those mistakes.
Shit, you gotta...
I wish there was like something they taught like at least guys growing up about that, especially like professionals.
I
you know?
think that's personal thing more.
But I mean, it affects a lot. Like, I mean, for example, if I'm a coach, I'm saying this from a perspective of a coach. I have a really good player, and I know outside of basketball, he's crazy. And you know this best because of like American players. And it's like I never pay attention to a single NBA like player coming from high school or anything now anymore until they get to college, because half of them, like Mikey Williams, gun charges, battery charges, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You're fully tatted at what? I think he's a year younger than you, or a year older.
He's 1 year
younger, ne,
On je 2003.
Četvrto je, ne, četvrto.
Yeah, a year
Pa ne,
younger than
Mikey je četvrto, on je treći.
Da.
you know, and he's full tats and everything. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, man, I mean, they changed the rule in NCAA where like players can all get paid for their money, but still, you know,
He doesn't have to go to NBA, he made that much money.
Yeah, but it's even worse for
and I feel like this is maybe my personal perspective, but I don't sense the NBA being about the best basketball players anymore.
It's a
all
business.
just, it's all just the ones that God looked down and be like, okay, you freak of nature, you freak of nature, you freak of nature.
And then Jokic.
Jokic is, I don't know what God decided to do with him. He likes horses. Yeah. He doesn't care about basketball. Man.
To him it's a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. Ja moram da kažem, meni je omljeni košarkaš naš, kao, mislim ne po skillu i to, ali omljeni kao Gurović.
Gurović, Milan?
Ne, zbog mentaliteta tog, ne znam, imaju oni razgovori kad su kao ložili pred Amere, kao da ti Reggie Miller govorio, kao da ne niko zna ko je Gurović, šta? Kao važi.
Sad ću vam pokažem.
8 trojki.
Za Indianapolis šta je radio, to i dalje gledam, i dalje se ježim kad je to radio, znači...
Kaže, Peđa, teo bi se zahvalim našim spavovima što su nas spremali za sve.
To su bile godine.
Ma, ne, normalno.
Sad ima, ja mislim, klub koji drži KK Real iz Beograda.
Mislim, koga drži? Peđa ga drži?
Ne,
Gurović. I sad imaju i letnji kamp i došli su, ja mislim, valjda isto reprezentativci, ne znam tačno ko je došao, neću da lažem sad.
To sam što vidio samo spojima.
Da, i sad ono ima i drže summer kamp i tako dalje.
Igrani majstor bi drži, ne možda vrata da uđe. But he trained, but what are you laughing about, bro? He's training with us at Ledine. There's that kid with this 11 meters tall with trains with the grandpa, you know, dribbles all 2 balls all the time.
I haven't seen him yet, maybe.
Bio neki majstor, ono druži, ima 17,5 metara, radi s nekim dedom, ono kao 3 lopte u isto vreme dribla. Kesa, znaš, pa. Pa ideš kao skip radi, mislim, ono, svaka čast, momak.
A treba da mu baca tenisku, brate.
Ne, ali...
I on ovako mali prstom ovako.
On je nešto prišao meni, kaže, dobar ti je burazer. Hvala, brate. Dobar.
I koje je tvoji planovi, tačnije vaši planovi ili plano tvoji za OverHoops u narednom periodu?
Nas će šutirati, nema na zimu, već neće nas biti na spisku.
Pa bit će nas, skontaćemo, malo za sad, dosta nas ljudi...
Ja razumijem, ti si nisi ove godine tu da ideš. For you, I don't know when you're like here in Serbia, what's the plans, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I might leave on around the 20th, I might leave. But anytime I get to come back here, I mean, I told them like, if there's a tournament that I can play until I go, and even when I'm back, I just want to play for them.
You're leaving permanently or just...
I'm gonna try to like, I mean, my plan is to go back to Angola, get maybe a pro contract there, and as soon as I get a pro contract, I have now a certified CV that coaches can see, be like, okay, he played organized basketball in the first league of Angola, so let's see what he can do. And my plan is to come back to Europe. I always wanted to play in the NBA. No, it's a joke there. I'd rather play EuroLeague or ABA League.
Da, ono tebi baš bi ti smetalo da igraš NBA.
It's okay. Andrej is gonna make it to, you know, NBA.
Samo mene čekaj. Vidi, brate, kad god treba za 3x3 turnir, samo pre 3 ujutru da zovete, to bilo bi super. Tu sam ono, samo da...
Razvojate na turnir sa loptom svetlećom, bre.
Da, ja pogledam, koliko je sati, dobro, 2:30, okej, možeš, ajde.
I planovi za...
Pa planovi za OverHoops, inače ima nas više malo u taj roster rotacije, oni nažalost morat će da ide tu, znači, Amerika, Angola, posle, ali bit će nas sigurno odavde koji će, mislim sad su svi većinom Sad tokom leta ne mogu sad da dođu, da igraju 3x3, da treniraju, ali sad kad bude bila zima, kad bude krenuo jesen i to, bit će sigurno. Trenutno za sad odmaramo se, treniramo šta god možemo, nekad u timu, nekad sami. I uvek gledamo kao da ako hoće neko s nama, ako hoće neko da vidi da li hoće s nama da se pridruži, održimo tako reći taj neki sparing, to je kao dođeš na adu, pikaš sa nama da vidimo kakav si, da vidimo da li si dobar i ako si super, dobrodošao u ekipu.
Ali planete za zimu neku salu da iznajmljate, šta je kako?
Ja sam, pa mislim za sad sala, ali ja sam lično pisao kako se zove moje gimnazije gdje sam išao i 12. gimnazije na Voždovcu. Pisao sam i razredno i ukoliko su voljni i željni da nam recimo na jedan period vremena daju salu da iznajmimo, da malo se istreniramo, da vidimo kakvi smo i tako dalje, da se spremimo za neke turnire koje bi možda htjeli da igramo. Ali za sad nam još nisu odgovorili, možda je to...
Evo sad ste vidjeli, sad ima da odgovara.
Sad će da vidim, ja mislim...
I sponzori i sve. Zaista ono red bi bio, brate. Mislim, vas on i taj Instagram i sveta treba da se gura, brate, da se sponzori.
Što se tiče sponzora, evo ja sam tu i menadžer i igrač i sve, ja sam evo imao 60-70 ljudi, evo u trenutku sam razmišljao da odem u galeriju i da idem na svaki onaj shop i pitam, zdravo, mi smo ekipa OverHoops, mi ovdje igramo tamo, da li možete malo da nam pomognete što se tiče?
Mogu da čeka isto Jay-Z-eve gajbe, brate, sa...
Idem ja u Saudijsku Arabiju, tamo u Dubaj, da nabavimo neke one šejke, brate, da nam napravi.
Da. Pa evo ti sad ideš za ekipa, evo ja ti dam.
Može, znaš šta hoćemo, da ti tražimo, nema problema.
Dođeš tamo, kažeš mu, mi smo osvojili sve žive turnire, i kaže
I on ti lupi care cifru, 100 milki kao.
100 milki.
A on kao, aj nešti zaokružiti, kao da ne lomim ci, evo ti 200. Ovo mi je da platim to parking, izvoli.
I onda imamo
Ali bit će samo ponovno upornost.
Pa da, upornost, rad, red, trud i tako.
Znate, ako su turniri na TV-u, da prenosi arena i to, realno, znači vi imate direkt, ljudi vas gledaju.
Da, znači što tiče ovih soccer betovih, MTS-ovih turnira, bili su na Areni Sport 1, bili smo i na Areni Sport 1 gdje je bilo wow, nevjerovatno, kao, ko bi rekao da mi kao budemo na jednoj prestižnoj sportskoj kao televiziji.
Ja mislim da bilo koji osim kompaniji znači da ima njihov logo te vremena.
Šta te košta?
Da. Tako da...
Nećemo ti mi tražiti 30.000 €, daj mi da platim da uđem.
Da putujem, da mi daš samo kotizaciju, pa dovoljno nam je to, samo...
To njima mnogo više znači nego, mislim, kao financijski će dobiti više od toga nego...
Dobit će preglede, možda i čak i kad dobijemo utakmicu da im se zahvalimo sponzorima. To svaki ekipa uvijek radi, recimo...
Svaki poen koji daš radi.
Svaki poen, ovako, da, na faulu samo ovako pokažeš.
I sad će ovdje moja mala pijaca. To može znaš ti meni lijup, ja je prikucao,
Da.
Ne bi ja kucao da nije moje male pijace.
Ne bi porazovali.
Da,
Zdrava hrana, rođenje.
Mi ako uspemo nekad nešto od ovog podcasta...
Mode nećete.
Pa vi super idete za sad. TikTok vam puca za sad, baš. Ja sam bukvalno listao pre ne znam koliko, izlačite mi vi, znači bukvalno na For You page izlazi mi...
Meni je drago jer kao meni je zanimljivo iskreno, brate. Upoznajem ljude, zanimljivo je, mislim, kao kad bi upoznao, brate, vas nikad. Mislim kao, brate, da...
Naravno, kako ne da.
I ti nekako lepo priča stvarima koje voliš, stvari koje te zanimaju i nije, mislim, cimanje jeste cimanje, ali kao nije to neko cimanje koje sad, tako da...
Nisam imao pojma, ja sam njega pitao sad bukvalno prema što ti si što će vrlo jedan pitao, čovječe, šta treba mu kaže. Pita nešto 3x3, da kažem dobro, da, kao super,
X3. A, okej,
meni top, ja se udalo prvo.
Da.
Imam nešto za kraj što dajte da kažete. Pozdravite roditelje,
pa ništa, pozdrav.
Stiže najrodor, majka, ne. Ne, majke, ja sad ćeš ugasim, palit ću skinuću do not disturb, već 17 od keve propuštenih. Ne brini, keva stiže.
Ništa, želimo se zahvalimo vama što ste nas primili ovdje i želi bi isto se zahvalimo svima koji nas gledaju, naravno, nadamo se da ćemo biti na YouTube-u i na TikToku.
Smile for the camera, you're the most famous. You're the smartest of the three of us, eh?
What do you mean the smartest, man? Nah.
I want to wish you all good luck in all different things, like for America, Angola or Portugal, whatever it comes up, and to play for national team of Angola like your father. I think that's the dream for you.
Yeah, so, very nice.
Good luck with that, and of course with 3x3.
Ja inače isto imam, mislim, ja nisam tehnički Srbije, mislim, živim ovdje, ali imam crnogorski pasoš, ja sam rođen u Crnoj Gori i sad volio bi da se nekako proširi to u Crnoj Gori. pošto ja igram ovde turnira u Srbiji, već sam u kontaktu sa nekim tamo selektorom 3x3 u Crnoj Gori, pa bi volio to da se proširi tamo. Bukvalno ne bi bio problem da dođem tamo da odigram jedan juniorski turnir i to. Neki Budvi na moru, na plaži. Pa volio bi da tako predstavimo državu.
This is the first international 3x3 basketball team.
First one in Belgrade. Prvi put, tako da.
Respect.
Hvala vam puno što ste primili.
Hvala vam.
Ja se ludilo proveo. Hvala vam što gledate.
I hope to see you again.
Anytime you guys want to have us, I mean, we're all thankful for the opportunity as well, you know. Had a great conversation and, I mean...
Načitat će se on još knjiga prema što mi dođemo, pa će znači, druže, gađe, znači bit će on Aristotel, druže. Pustit ćemo mi njega samo.
Biće, of course. So, wish you good luck and...
Thank you very much.
Thank you, hvala, prijatno.
Damn!